All right, the problem we will be working today is one that every student should know how to do, if for no other reason than to keep track of their personal grades. Problem is, in Aaron's English course, the final grade is determined by the average of 5 papers. The department requires that any student whose average falls below 75 has to repeat the class. Aaron's score on the first 4 papers were 68, 78, 80, and 82. What is the range of scores on the 5th paper that would assure that Aaron does not have to repeat the course? All right, first things first is you need to translate this into some type of an algebraic equation. We know that he has 5 papers in order to get the minimum of 75. So what we're going to need here is, we know that the score needs to be at least 75 or higher, so that way Aaron doesn't have to repeat. Now they give us the first 4 numbers right there. We got 68 plus 78 plus 80 plus 82 plus, well, we don't know what the 5th one is yet. So we'll just label that one X. We'll give it a letter there. All right. We know that the final grade is determined by an average of 5 papers. So we know that it's going to be, when we're figuring averages, we just take the totals and divide it by the amount, the quantity of how many totals are involved. So because we have 5 different totals here, we're going to divide by 5. Okay. Well, this is a pretty messy looking fraction, but it's really simple. Instead of doing divide, you can just multiply by the reciprocal. Reciprocal of 1 over 5 is 5 over 1. So we got 5 over 1 times, adding up all of these 4 numbers, 68, 78, 80, 82 added together equals 308. Plus X, because obviously we don't know that value, divided by 5. That needs to be greater or equal to 75 times 5. Now, because we multiplied this side by 5, we need to multiply the other side by 5. So, because anything you do to one side of the equation, you have to do to the other side. Just basic algebra rules right there. All right. So, these cancel each other. We got 308 plus X has to be greater or equal to, what's 75 times 5? 375. Well, now we need to get the X by itself. We have a nice simple looking equation here. 308 subtract, 308 subtract. We now bring down our X. X has to be greater or equal to, what's 375 minus 308? It is 67. There's our answer. It's that simple. Aaron needs to score a minimum of 67 or greater in order to finish out his course with a 75% in order to pass.